This information could change your life. Okay. Hello, Miss Brotman.
Hello, Mr. Rothkran.
Thank you for being with us today.
I live here, silly. I'm here every day.
All right, today's topic is weight loss and being thin and good looking, which obviously you are, and I'm going to just try to ask questions that I know people are going to obviously ask and that they're thinking. A, it's genetic. B, she's always been like that. She's lucky. She doesn't know what it's like to be us poor victims of weight. So how old are you?
I'll be 47 in December.
Wow. So you're almost 50.
That's right.
First off, people are going to think, well, she hasn't hit menopause yet. Wait till she hits menopause. She's going to have that post-menopause pooch.
Well, I've already hit it.
You've already been there, you know, and hormones has a lot to do with weight gain. There's this myth out that you need, once your ovaries shut down and everything, that you get your hormones from the fat in your belly. So that would mean theoretically you have no hormones.
Right.
And?
Well, I do have hormones.
And quite a few, I must say. I mean, more than any, like, 20-year-old I've ever met. So, obviously, you don't need a pooch to have hormones, and you don't have to have that, you don't get a pooch after post-menopause.
That's right.
If you're treating yourself right. So, have you ever been, like, bigger than this?
Yes.
And how much, what was your biggest weight?
That was 180.
180.
Yeah, but I was pregnant.
But the baby only weighed 7 pounds, so you had 50 pounds extra.
That's right. It took me 4 months to lose it.
Were you totally into raw food at the time?
No.
So that would explain the weight gain.
Yeah, I put on the 50 pounds.
So you know what it's like to be overweight.
Yes.
You've been there. You've done that.
Even when I was 140 pounds, which I try and stay between 120 and 127.
And how tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, so that's pretty tall.
But when I get past 130, I start feeling depressed. And I can't be in that funk. So I said, gotta reel it back in.
For those of you who see my paintings of Debbie that I was with for 15 years, she was 5'3". She weighed like 99 to 100 pounds. And that was normal for her. She never, that was her weight. So, you know, people think, well, that's anorexia. That's another thing that people are going to ask is...
Right, I'm too skinny.
Are you starving? Yeah, that's easy. If you're on the starvation diet, you're just starving yourself. That's unhealthy. And
I'm a chef. I love food too much. I can't starve and deprive myself
so
of
it's
that.
What you eat, right?
It is.
And it's also when you eat.
But I don't eat myself until maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not hungry till then.
Now, a lot of people say, well, breakfast is the most important meal, and you're proof that it doesn't have to be. There's a video I'm going to be coming out with really soon on something that's pretty important and revolutionary. It's called intermittent fasting, where you don't eat breakfast. Some of the biggest stars in Hollywood do it, and they are not starving themselves. Actually, bodybuilders are doing it, and they're finding they grow 3 times faster with muscles. They have 2,000 times the hormones if they fast for 1 day a week, or if they stop eating at dinner time and they don't eat till lunch the next day. It's called the 16-8. We'll talk more about that in another show. But you've been doing this automatically. You didn't even know about that. You just you listened to your body and you're doing it automatically.
And then I heard about intermittent fasting and I'm like, oh my God, that's what I've been doing. And I think because of that, I really think that that's why I've been able to maintain a healthy body weight and the same body weight I've had since I was 20. I told a girlfriend of mine who was wearing a half shirt and she had a roll on her tummy, I said, you know, if you don't eat for just 2 days, that will go away. You'll be flat. And she said, forget that. I need my food too much. And I thought, well, it was kind of vanity for me back then. I'd rather fast than have that.
And for those of you who've never fasted, it sounds kind of scary. But after you've done it once or twice, it actually is an amazing experience. You feel so much lighter, more spiritual. You feel your mood is elevated. You wake up with more hormones the next day. You feel stronger. You feel cleaner. You feel like a new person. Yeah, it's a little tough the first few times because you're craving food. But the interesting thing is, while you're fasting, you start appreciating the cleaner foods. You actually look at, I look at my raw food cookbook and I go, I can't wait to try some of this stuff. I actually crave this stuff now. I don't crave the nasty stuff, the bad food. Mm-hmm. You start craving the good foods because the more cleaner you are, the more cleaner the foods you want, you crave, and the more dirtier you are, junky, the more junk food you crave, I think. So it's really, it's like you're resetting. The more you fast,
yes, and then
you reset.
Right, and every time I'd fast, I'd come back and my stomach would have shrunken. So that really helps whenever I put on a few extra pounds, I fast. And that fasting helps me lose the weight because now my stomach has shrunk and I don't need as much food to feel full. And you know, the first couple, I've never fasted longer than 7 days, but the first few days are the toughest, the first 2 days. But after the third day, it's like you see muscles if you're worked out, or you just see fat melting off you. And that gives you such incentive to continue.
First of all, let's knock this starvation thing out. You don't starve yourself.
No.
Do you feel like during the day, I'm empty, I crave food, I need food?
Never.
There's a lot of people that are starving themselves that feel that. I think it's because they're eating empty calories, like food that really doesn't have a lot of value.
Well, you know what? I do kind of snack a little bit throughout the day sometimes. And like the pepperoni that we make and we cut and we put it in a bowl, the bad, not the bad part,
the
but
leftover trimmings.
Yes, the leftover trimmings. I snack on that. I'll take a couple almonds, some cherries.
When she says pepperoni, she means the not real meat pepperoni that's in our uncooked book, made from plant matter. And it's just like pepperoni.
It tastes better. Oh my God, it's crunchy. Like
we take it with us whenever we travel. We have like a bag of it.
Yeah.
We actually took some to Hawaii like 4 months ago, and we had like a few left over in our bag, and I forgot about it. And we just went to New York, and I just found a few slices still in there. It's still good. It's
so good. It's amazing. And it's so healthy. Irish moss is in it.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Okay, Irish moss. This is important. I think that's a key. It's really important. Seaweed is critical. I notice you have a glass of water there. You drink water, right? So let's show the people what you use. This is a glass.
A jar.
A glass jar. It's not plastic. You don't drink out of plastic
I
bottles.
avoid plastic like the plague. It's poison and toxic.
Because plastic is an estrogenic. Estrogenics suppress the thyroid. When your thyroid gets suppressed, you start gaining weight. Hormone issues are a big one. And there's a lot of like chemicals in the air because we're in the modern world. A way to help fight that is taking a lot of seaweed. Now you can't just drink iodine drops because you can actually OD from straight iodine because that's an isolate. But if it's mixed in with it in its natural state with all the other co-elements like in seaweed, it's kind of hard to OD on it. We sometimes eat a massive amount of seaweed. Like we have cake made with it. We put it in our smoothies. The Irish moss is amazing stuff. It's a thickener, so we can use it for
pies and
all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So a lot of seaweed, like the Irish moss, is really good for helping keep the thyroid healthy, which I guess yours is.
Well, I've always eaten a lot of seaweed. In the morning, what I love to do is, I remember you told me once that I don't have to do your green formula in such a large, I do it in a glass jar like this. And you said, oh, you don't have to do it, you could just do it in a smaller glass. And I said, no, I like to do it in a big glass, and I like to drink it, you know, in the morning slowly, like people drink their coffee, because when I sip it, I just can like literally feel the power just coursing through my veins. It just feels so good knowing that I'm doing something so good for my body.
And I'm not paying her to say this, by the way. Anyway, there's a lot of people who write and say that they take the green formula and it gives them so much energy, and it's an appetite suppressant that they just go all day without eating, and they lose weight. So it's great for weight loss. It's great for diabetics. It's good for helping with the insulin issues.
It's funny when I see like smoothie or claims these smoothies, they say, oh, it's a complete meal replacement. This actually is a complete meal replacement.
I'm not telling people to live off powders, but there is a guy, he's doing it again this month. He's traveling across Norway on nothing but my formula, my green powder and the protein powder, and a little bit of coconut oil.
Well, like you said, it's got anything that has more vitamins than what I'm eating in my salads, I'll go for, meaning sprouts have 40% more vitamins than salads, and your green powder, because I love life. I want to be here as long as possible and enjoy you and my son for as long as possible, and I want to be able to, you know, move. And if I
Right.
fall, I want to be able to get back up and start running again. Not, oh no, I need a hip replacement, if I'm lucky. Or they'll put you down like a horse.
Yeah, well, you mentioned son. Some of you don't even know that she has a son. And he's how old?
He's almost 26.
You know, and look at you. Stand up for a minute. Just show them what you look like. And look at that. You can see it over there. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, huh? All right. And here's some pictures of what she looks like. I mean, everywhere we go, it's a photo shoot. I mean, I can't help it. It's like she's a walking Sports Illustrated photo shoot.
Well, you know, this is the body I have is just a byproduct of eating clean, healthy food that whoever set us up here on Earth, we weren't dropped in a slaughterhouse. We were dropped in the Garden of Eden. So in the morning,
you're vegan, vegetarian, right? You don't eat any animal products.
Absolutely not. There's no reason to, because
and you don't cook your food.
You know, it's not like I avoid cooked foods. It's just that I prefer raw foods because it just satisfies me so much. But as far as also genetic, it's not genetic because I have 3 siblings. 3 of us are vegetarian, and we're all very, you know, thin, and one wasn't, and he was overweight, very overweight. He has since changed. He quit eating meat, but it's not just meat, it's also bread, flour, pasta. You know, I remember in grade school we used to make glue out of flour and water, and that's what bread is made out of. I call it a gut bomb. It's terrible. I drove from Florida to Las Vegas a few years ago, and I got dried fruit and nuts and bananas and apples. I prepared all that for my trip so that I wouldn't have to depend on restaurants to fuel me. Towards the end, I ran out of my fruits and my food, so I stopped at an Olive Garden and I ordered the all-you-can-eat salad, and I ordered a bruschetta, which is just bread with tomato sauce on it. I just took a couple bites of the bruschetta, and I had a salad. And for the first time since I started my trip, pains in my stomach as I'm driving. Do you remember we ate out once, and I felt like I had food poisoning, and I came home and you gave me ozone water, and immediately the pain went away.
Some kind of bacteria.
And look at how the ozone water just immediately, I mean, within a matter of 45 seconds, I literally felt it like a video game going, killing all the bad stuff. So in the morning, I really love fruit salad, and especially now since it's summer, and I make my almond milk. I just cut up as much fruit as I can. I don't care. Sometimes it's a big bowl, other times it's a medium bowl, but it's a lot. And I top it off with cacao nibs, and it's just the most delicious thing I've ever had. It's like eating candy, you know, for a child. It's as exciting as that. That's about, you know, between 12 and 2. And then my savory salad is later, with mainly kale and dandelion leaf, tomatoes, avocados, and all the other stuff that one would normally put in a salad. And then I put superfoods on it, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, spirulina, lots of seaweed goes in there, sauerkraut, lots of garlic. I mean, I'm getting so much concentrated vitamins in that. I put quinoa that I've soaked and sprouted, then dehydrated.
Your salads are huge sometimes. Like I can't even eat.
They are huge, and sometimes I don't eat all of it, and I just leave it on the counter overnight, and then I'll go back the next day and I'll eat it for breakfast.
Like meat,
more delicious.
You can't leave meat out overnight, but this stuff.
I prefer it left out overnight. You said put it in the fridge. I go, no, leave it out. I really like it like that. I don't like fruit juices. They actually scare me because I don't want to raise my blood sugar level.
So what do you drink?
I juice cucumber. I mix it with half water and then chia seeds, and I always have those in the jars in the refrigerator on hand. It's very refreshing, especially in the summertime. Mainly plain water and smoothies, your green smoothies and the green formula, because I've actually acquired a taste for that. It's delicious.
And when we go to the gym?
Celery juice. Just celery juice.
For the gym.
For the gym.
Speaking of gym, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, well, she works out all the time. It's easy to look like that if you work out all the time. When I met you, you hadn't worked out in 20 years or something, and you just started since you met me in the last, 8 months or something. It helps But the raw food is the main thing that made you look good.
That's right. Right. When I was leaving Florida, my last couple months there, I was staying with a woman who really her kitchen and refrigerator was really a turnoff. It was full of meat and stuff, so I just never even went in the kitchen. I kept my food in in my room, and basically it was just Brazil nuts. I ate like a person in the jungle. I had or an animal in the jungle.
Fruit, nuts, greens.
Exactly, and I just eat it. And I remember I was kind of getting thin, and I was liking it. I was loving it. And I remember I looked at my body in the mirror. Didn't even exercise, but I really liked what I saw. And it was just from eating.
And you use oils too, so the healthy oils don't make you fat.
Right. I never cook with olive oil, but I use a lot of olive oil. I actually put olive oil in our grapefruit smoothie. That's one of my favorite drinks too. That's in the cookbook.
So the salads, so we use a lot of coconut oil.